Okay, who here hasn't been to space? Why? You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
Today is the Vision series. So a couple of days ago, it was, announced that by several outlets and scoopers that the Vision was going to be getting a series, and it's going to be Vision Quest is the name of is going to be the title of the series. But that's also, an adaptation of the comics, the runs there of Vision Quest and everything like that happened during that. So they've got that going on, and Jeff is very credible. Jeff Snyder, he was one of the ones that put this out. Jeff Snyder, as you all know, very credible scooper there. He came out and corroborated that same thing, saying that is actually going to be taking place. So CBR definitely covered it, and they covered it saying following an initial report by insider Jeff Snyder, Deadline has confirmed that a new WandaVision spinoff focusing on Vision is indeed being developed with a writer's room expected to open next week. According to Deadline, Marvel Studios' Vision Quest will be about the Vision, Paul Bettany trying to regain his memory and humanity. Additionally, there is a possibility that Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda Maximoff / Scarlet Witch will make an appearance in the series, following her apparent but unlikely death in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. Now, as we all know, she's not dead in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
That was never...
She's just taking a nap.
Yeah, that was never a thing.
No.
But this is exciting for me personally, because I personally do like the Vision. I like Vision a lot. But my only thing about this is they're saying it's going to be a series. Is there enough to go off of for this to be a series, is what I'm saying with the Vision.
That's what I was literally about to say.
Like Vision Quest, the comic runs, they're great. And they're, if they want to adapt all of the entire run, then possibly you could do a series. But I feel like you do that. I feel like you condense that. You take everything you like from those runs, condense that into like an hour special. Like I thought we were moving away from these damn series.
I was just about to say that too. Like, are we sticking to the series? Are we going more to specials? Because when I was looking into it last night, I think, going off what Darius said, it would be smarter to just nitpick from each one and just doing a whole specials about it, because I just don't think it would be enough to be an actual series.
If you want my honest opinion, it's just not enough for a story itself. I feel like it's just a side story. I feel like it needs to be a side story in like whatever Wanda's next main thing is, because I just don't see a whole series, especially not 9 episodes for sure, but if they wanted to do 6, I just don't see 6 episodes of Vision finding himself again. It's just that's all it's gonna be. It's literally gonna be him trying to find Vision again. No, I don't think anyone wants to see that. I don't think budget should be wasted on that. I just think there's a lot more important things getting into getting into the prime part of the phase that we're getting into. There's a lot more things to focus on. I don't really think Vision his story is not. But that also that.
I would also say too that also I agree, but I would also say too I think that it depends on what they do, because if they do adapt Vision Quest, the comic runs, or Vision is also part of the West Coast Avengers. We don't even know what's going on with the Avengers. Some of the members have even been introduced without Phase 4 of the West Coast Avengers. You even got the Wonder Man series being talked about. Moon Knight at one point was a part of the West Coast Avengers. I believe She-Hulk was a part of the West Coast Avengers.
I think She-Hulk helped found
I think she was one of the founders of West Coast Avengers. So, I mean, you have that to play on if that's something they wanted to do. But we know that's not what they're going to do, because you've got the whole Ship of Theseus thing at the end of WandaVision, where he was like, I am Vision, then blasted. We ain't seen the motherfucker since. So, I'm assuming that this is now taking place right after he says I'm the Vision and then goes, because I was assumed by this time, if all this time has passed and he hasn't found himself.
No, I would assume the series is going to be about him finding himself.
No, that's exactly what it would be.
Well, okay, so going in on this, I don't know. Because that is something that I've heard people say more than once. I've seen it in our chats. I've seen people on the internet. It's almost like mini memedom of where's Vision? And what the fuck happened to Vision? Like we never. One of the major characters throughout most of of the MCU dipped out. And we haven't heard anything, right? So people are interested in what's going on with him. The difference between his series and the more recent series is with WandaVision, with Loki, and I wasn't a huge fan, but a lot of people seem to like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They were established characters. It wasn't an origin story, right?
Right.
Where they've been doing these origin fucking series, right? Which
That is a difference.
It is a difference.
It's not an origin.
However, I still think it goes back to what I was preaching last time, where how much time do you need to tell these stories? Because they're going to do a Vision Quest, right? And they're going to make it into this long series. The whole point is going to be him regaining himself, but then you're going to add new characters, and they're going to have a story. They're going to have a reason to be there, and then you're making this whole fucking thing that maybe people actually don't get. They only give a shit about Vision, but you're going to introduce new people we need to care about. Like, is that going to work?
Right.
And on top of that, I wouldn't get my hopes up too much about the rumors of Elizabeth Olsen coming back. I'm sure she will, but I don't think it will be Wanda post Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, no,
I think
don't
it'll be a
believe
in his head version. It might not even be the physical, real Wanda.
Well, I think it. That
It
would
could
make
be
it
him
can't-
going
it can't
through
be.
his
It
memories
can't
messing.
because especially if this takes place before Multiverse of Madness, it can't be Wanda because it wouldn't make sense.
Right. Well, that's
Like,
why
what
I'm
if
saying
he
Elizabeth
Wanda
Olsen can don.
himself?
Right.
She can don Wanda Maximoff.
Right.
But it would be more of it in his head. It's not really her being
Right,
there while
right.
he's trying to figure out what's real, what's not
Right.
real. There's a million ways they could spin this. All I'm getting at with this is there is enough interest in this. He is a liked enough character. It's just, again, do you need 10 fucking episodes to tell me this, what you're trying to tell me?
I hope not. I think again it needs to be an hour special.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
me.
So that's what I agree.
And then my next question is too is like I like I've always said before, I think Marvel does things for a reason and they have specific order. Like where would this lie? Where would you just input this in the timeline of that you already presented us? How would it benefit the timeline? So
How does this further the mythology
I mean,
of the
I'm excited
MCU?
because I love the
The shit
actor,
Thor: Love and Thunder
and
didn't
I
do.
love Vision, and I love how it started and where we are. And I am curious of like what happened because he really did low key like, was like, hey, I'm Vision, and then left.
Right. I mean,
So-
like I said, John Byrne's runs, they deal with the dismantling of Vision. They deal with betrayal, twisted truths. I mean, we've already seen Vision dismantled. Sword did that in WandaVision. We saw that within the post-credit scene, and even when she went to Sword, that whole scene.
But doesn't that... I feel like that should just make adding his storyline to just a little side story to Armor Wars so much easier.
That too.
Like, they dismantled Vision.
Isn't Rhodey a part of the West Coast Avengers as well?
Yes.
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Honestly, but one other thing we still got out there is they could. I'm not saying they are, but they could tie this in some way with the Children's Crusade.
Yeah.
We still got Billy and Tommy out there that.
Oh, I didn't.
And the actors, whoever acted, they give a lot of comments on the MCU
They do.
too and stuff, and how they're supposed to be making, and they give comments about Paul Bettany and stuff.
I wonder
all
if they're
the
gonna
time.
make them be the. I hope not. The older Billy and Tommy. No, because you remember during Multiverse of Madness, there were
they
so
were
many
young.
things. Yeah, they were young,
They
but there
were
were so many things during Multiverse of Madness, like this. That I forget the actor's name, but he did lines for. I think he was Billy because he was like, but he was older, and that was like it was at one point one of the scenes they wanted to implement in. They cut so much, so I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think it all goes into this. It all really breaks down to what are you trying to tell us with this, right? It's the story you're trying to tell. Because again, if you're just trying to tell a Vision, getting his memories back, maybe having a little diversity, you can make that into a special. Or you could even do a 2-part, right? It's something you could do. And then it lead right into basically a big hype. Everyone saw what Vision was dealing with, goes into Armor Wars.
Right.
Or you can make it this fucking 10-episode series where
No, God,
you're,
no.
you're this is what we want to tell, it fits here, but we got to build all this to
I
round it
think-
out. And then, okay, we got our full-on fill-on Vision. I don't want my fill-on Vision with the series. I want it teased. You know what I'm saying? You get just enough. Go into Armor Wars.
Yeah,
Like,
I
make
definitely
me
see
want
Armor
more.
Wars.
Yeah, I want this to be a
And
promotional
giving
hype
their
for Armor
track
Wars.
record from Phase 4, and this is my opinion, giving their track record from Phase 4 with their series, I don't want, and I get it, like you said, those were origins, so that's a little different, because WandaVision was great, Loki was great, everybody can agree on that. But, and then with this not being an origin, it could be, I just don't want to see a series. There's not enough story there. Because it's just like you said, it's just going to be a self-discovery journey that.
Well, and normally you latch onto one thing. So, like with She-Hulk, we latched onto Daredevil's coming in, right? That was the big hype. With I don't really know anything.
I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen also has signed on for, I think, 3 or 4 different things as Mephisto. If this does play into a type of... they won't do all that in a Vision Quest.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm like with She-Hulk, if I knew that's all I was getting, I wouldn't have fucking watched all that. You can Spark Notes that shit. I can look up the scenes that I want to see.
I will never rewatch
that. But I'm saying you carried me along, teasing the thing I wanted to see. When I finally saw it, I was like, that's fucking all you're giving me? So it just goes back to, ooh, don't hook me on Vision and then drag me through bullshit for weeks. I gotta fucking come here. You know what I'm saying? We gotta come here. We gotta sit down just for you to undersell.
That's what I mean about their series.
Right, but if you have me sit down for 1 or 2 things, specials, watch the shit, whoa, that was cool, almost like in Werewolf by Night, make me leave with more questions than answers. How did that happen? Or how is Vision get... It leads to Armor Wars. That's how you fucking sell this shit. You hype up your next project every time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, hey, either way it goes, I do want to see Vision. Yeah. I think, I do want to see
that's my thing.
Vision.
I want to, but I don't want to see too much of Vision. Because,
Right.
So showing just like the right, that's why I feel
that's
like
why it needs to be a special.
The story, or the special, or just like the side story in a movie where he still gets a lot of screen time as a cameo.
Like Armor Wars.
He's casted in Armor Wars or some shit like that. Like those are just 2 better ways to tell his storyline.
Yep.
At least that'll be more audience appealing than to giving us a 6 week, even a 6 week. I wouldn't want a month series. I wouldn't want 4 weeks. Like I wouldn't want to just sit because it's like. We've seen what they give us with that, and it's been nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the
nothing
last thing,
good.
Yeah.
It's been nothing good outside of the first 2 things they did. It's like they released the first 2 good things, and they never went back to that formula for the intro of characters, and I don't get why.
Phase 4 was just experimental.
Phase 4 was just like Phase 1 or Phase. Actually, I won't say Phase 1. I won't say Phase 1 because Phase 1 was actually a little bit more exciting than Phase 4. I will say. Phase 4 was like Phase 2.
Yeah.
Did we get Avengers in Phase 2?
Yes. No.
I think Avengers.
Yeah, I think we got Avengers 1 at the end of Phase 2.
Yeah. It ended. It ended Phase 2.
Well, yeah, at the end of Phase 2 was Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe Phase 3.
But, I mean, it is Phase 1, just without the most popular characters and recognizable Marvel characters that there are. That's the only difference. You gotta make me give a shit about characters I don't care about. I care about Iron Man. I do from the jump. I don't care about Ms. Marvel. Make me care. Fucking come on. You're not lying. But I'll just the last thing I will say on this is fucking. you got look at just Infinity War and Endgame. Infinity War hyped the fuck up for Endgame. They all blipped in the end. Where is everyone? What is happening? I mean, everyone knew they were going to come back, but still, you just killed off the cast. Holy crap! I have to go see what happens. So you make a cool Vision special, 1-2 part. Oh my God! What is Vision gonna do?
Honestly,
what is Vision gonna do? We'll find out in Armor Wars. Versus 10 episodes where I'm like, I'm kind of fucking done with it. I've seen him.
Yeah.
I've spent the last 10 hours with him. I don't give a shit.
That shit turned.
Hype your new projects up. They know how to do it. They've done it forever.
Like I said, they've had their ear to the ground, so I hope.
Or it's just give us Vision, give us a story in Armor Wars, and then after that, give us a series like Children's Crusade. That way we get more than just Vision. That way we're expecting more than him and not just... We have to sit through more Vision. I just don't see the use of... I don't see the use of it.
Yeah, I mean, but that, hey, that Marvel's announcing it. Vision Quest, it's on its way. We don't know the details. We just know that. Those are our initial thoughts on it. That's what we would like to see. But as always, question is always for you guys. Let us know down below in the comments what you guys think. What do you want to see in a Vision series? Are you wanting to see more of Vision going on a self-discovery journey? Are you wanting to see Wanda interactions with Wanda, maybe Billy and Tommy? Are you wanting to see it tie into Armor Wars? Any of the things we said, let us know down below in the comments. Like, subscribe, and then we'll